Violence is a public health crisis. Like any epidemic, it spreads beyond the initial injury. It impacts families, schools, neighborhoods, and entire communities. The crisis management system addresses violence across the full continuum, from prevention and mitigation to crisis response and long-term recovery. Through coordinated partnerships, community VIPs, credible clinicians, hospitals, schools, survivor leaders, faith leaders, and community partners work together to interrupt the spread of trauma before it leads to more violence. The story you are about to see illustrates one example of this coordinated public health approach. Marcus is 16 years old. His father is incarcerated. His mother works double shifts trying to hold the family together. Most nights, Marcus is alone. The streets become the place where he feels seen. Then one afternoon, a fight after school is recorded and spread across social media. Thousands watch him get humiliated. The comments spread faster than the truth. For Marcus, the pressure becomes unbearable. One moment online becomes violence in real life. Fear becomes anger. Anger becomes retaliation. Marcus sets out to confront Jamal, and in seconds, another child is shot, not the intended target, a bystander. Her name is Cindy. Within minutes, emergency responders secure the scene and rush the victim to the hospital. At the same time, the crisis management system is activated. Hospital violence intervention teams notify community VIP responders that a shooting involving youth and possible gang retaliation has occurred. CMS teams split immediately. Some respond to the hospital, others move into the neighborhood and schools to prevent the violence from spreading. Inside the hospital, doctors fight to save Cindy's life. Outside the trauma room, another danger is already building. Friends are angry, rumors are spreading online. Digital responders monitor social media for threats, rumors, and signs that tensions are escalating. When concerning activity is identified, they alert CMS call centers, which coordinate with violence interrupters and community VIP teams on the ground. This real-time flow of information helps responders intervene before online conflict becomes violence in the streets. The hospital violence intervention team contacts community VIP responders because retaliation often happens within hours of a shooting. Survival leaders begin supporting Cindy's family. Community VIPs focus on calming tensions, gathering real-time information, and identifying who may now be at risk. By the next morning, the trauma reaches the school. Students who witnessed the shooting are afraid. Teachers struggle to regain control of classrooms. Social media continues escalating the conflict. School crisis counselors provide emotional support to students and staff. Community VIPs work alongside them, focusing on the young people most vulnerable to retaliation, recruitment, or emotional collapse. Because after a shooting, prevention becomes a race against time. The funeral becomes another critical intervention point. Community VIPs know that grief, anger, and fear can quickly lead to another shooting. Violence interrupters monitor tensions outside the church, communicate with outreach teams across the neighborhood, and work to prevent retaliation before it begins. Inside, survivor leaders support traumatized family members struggling to process the loss. Faith leaders help stabilize the community emotionally and spiritually. Even after the shooting ends, the trauma continues spreading. There are multiple families impacted by one act of violence: the family of Cindy and the family of Marcus. A child's bedroom becomes a place of grief where parents are left trying to understand a loss they can never replace. And the family of the young person responsible now faces fear, shame, instability, and the painful reality that their child's future may already be slipping away. Throughout every stage of the crisis, survivor leaders walk alongside families, providing peer support, guidance, advocacy, connections to vital resources, and hope from the moment violence occurs through the long journey of recovery. For days, Marcus hides from police, sleeping in different places, overwhelmed by fear, guilt, and the reality that his life has changed forever. When he is finally arrested, Marcus walks out in handcuffs with his head down, unable to face the heartbreak and shame in his mother's eyes. After the arrest, Community VIP family advocates help stabilize households now facing trauma, financial crisis, fear, and public shame. Some families need counseling. Some need relocation support. Some need help keeping younger siblings connected to school and away from the streets. One shooting impacts an entire neighborhood. Businesses close early. Parents become afraid. Children absorb trauma. Communities begin expecting violence instead of peace. That is why the crisis management system exists, not simply to respond to violence, but to interrupt the spread of trauma before another life is lost. Violence is not only a law enforcement issue, it is a public health crisis, and public health crises require coordinated intervention. Community VIPs, hospitals, schools, mental health teams, faith leaders, and community partners all play a role in stopping violence from spreading. The question is not whether the trauma exists. The question is whether we invest in the people trained to interrupt it. Before the next shooting, before the next funeral, before another child believes violence is the only answer.